Aloha, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Steve Murray, Sports Psychologist. Think of me as Lucy without all the expensive overhead. Basically, I'm just here to help. You know, sometimes things get the darkest after times of our greatest triumphs. Take, for instance, the University of Michigan. The Michigan Wolverines were the best college football team in the nation this year. No questions about it. They beat Ohio State. They won the Big Ten. They stopped Alabama in the Rose Bowl and basically just beat the crap out of Washington in the college football playoff final. Yet for many fans, the joy has been tainted over conversations in regards to the legitimacy of the season and the victory. Most of these revolving around Jim Harbaugh's suspension and the alleged sign stealing episode involving former employee Connor Stalions, who actually I just learned today was at both of those games. Now, I share that with you just for entertainment and information purposes only, not to suggest he was there in any official capacity at all. But yes, Connor was there and apparently trading in some of his notoriety for free beer and stuff. So, yay, good for you. But first of all, I do understand your pain. It is real and it does need to be recognized. You did everything necessary to win, and a large number of people just want to, cheapen the victory or to destroy the legacy of this really, really good football team. But don't worry, I'm going to help you through it. What I like to do is play a little game. I'm going to read off a name of a couple players, couple coaches, and what I would like you to do is take a quick moment and just think of the first thing that pops into your head, right? Not a great thought, just name, image, boom. Then we'll go back through your answers, and I think the results will help you out a little bit. Number one on the list is Ted Williams. Again, not a lot of thought. What's the first thing that pops into your head? Number two, Willie Mays. Nice and easy. Number three is Franco Harris. What's the first thing that pops into your head when you think of Franco Harris? Number four, Bill Belichick. What pops to mind? And finally, Nick Saban. What's the first thing you think about when you think of Nick Saban? Okay, you ready? Well, let's take a look at the answers. Ted Williams. No doubt the first thing you might have thought of was the Splendid Splinter, the Boston Red Sox. Maybe that he is or was, if not the best, one of the best hitters of all time. Did the notion that he was largely an indifferent fielder pop into your head at all? They just didn't care if he was good in the field or not? Probably not. That's okay. What about Willie Mays? Say hey kid, right? 660 home runs, 5-tool player, no doubt in the conversation of the greatest baseball player of all time. Do you even remember that he finished his career with the Mets and in that last final season just really struggled to get around the base paths and stay above the Mendoza line? Probably not. Franco Harris. First thing for me, of course, the Immaculate Reception. No question about it. Hall of Famer, one of the few Steelers to have his number retired. But do you remember he finished his career in Seattle? In that last season, 8 games, 170 yards, 2.5 yards per pop? Well, that's either we've forgotten or we just never knew that. What about Bill Belichick? Right? Greatest NFL coach of all time. Do you remember that he was 36-44 in Cleveland before he got there? Did you even know he coached at Cleveland? What about Nick Saban, right? Just retired as head coach of the University of Alabama, greatest college football coach of all time. What are you thinking of? All those titles, right? At Bama and LSU. What about his sub-500 career as head coach of the Miami Dolphins? Again, do we remember? Do we forget? Did we know it all? Kind of see where I'm getting at here? Because here's the secret, folks. We remember headlines, not stories. And as far as legacies, Dude, legacies are made up. They're made up by people like me, people in the media who, create storylines and information just to keep you watching or listening or clicking on over. And it also, helps us sound smart and also to, smart and pious. We always love that here in the sports media, don't we? But again, headlines, not storylines. Everything else is just doesn't matter. I mean, let's realize we're Americans, right? A year ago is a long time. 5 or 6 years ago, dude, that's just like history, right? Who knows what happened then? Think back even last year, Georgia just spanked TCU. We probably remember that, right? Raise your hand if you remember how TCU kind of got there, like which conference they came from, and there was a question whether they actually deserved a shot to be in there. What about the semifinal game? Do you remember that? Georgia versus Ohio State, how that game played out? Probably not. And again, that's okay. What if we go back a couple years? 2021? Any idea who played in that game? I think that was a COVID year, right? I don't even know. Was anybody allowed to go to that game? Oh, well. So anyway, the point is enjoy it, Michigan fans. You are the national championship, and you will always remember being a champion. Everything else, the tainted legacy, who you beat, how you beat them, many of the players on the team, you'll forget. This is what we do. So don't worry about it. Let people talk. You won. And everything else will just be forgotten in time. I do want to thank you for once again joining me here on the program. As always, if you can, go ahead, hit the like button, the subscribe button as well. Shoot me a note, drop a comment. What are you thinking about this topic or other ones as well? And of course, if you're looking for more poorly produced online content, don't forget about our other program, worst program on the internet, The Blues. And I should be having another episode posted up here in the next day or so. So once again, I'm Steve Murray. I do really appreciate your time and can't wait to see you next time. Take care, my friends.